Today we'll discuss about centripetal acceleration and centripetal force. First thing, centripetal acceleration. Now, suppose a body we have considered, this body is moving along the circular path and this circle is having the radius r, suppose. This is the circular path we have taken and this circle is having the center O and this is the radius of the circle, and the body is at initial point of the body initially at the point of A, suppose. Now after some time, by describing a very small angle delta theta, it reaches to the point B. In this direction it is moving in the circular path and it reaches to the point B. The angle described by that body is equal to, suppose, delta theta. Now we know that if at the point of A we want to know the direction of the velocity of the body, then we have to draw the tangent at the point of A. This is the direction of the body at A point, and this is, I am taking V1 vector. And at the point of B, when we determine the direction of the velocity, then again we have to draw a tangent at the point of B, and this will indicate the direction of the body at B, and this is V2 vector, suppose. Now we know that the radius is perpendicular to the tangent, and at the point of A this is the tangent and this is the radius, so this radius is again perpendicular to this tangent. It means if the radius if this radius is making the angle of delta theta with this radius, then this angle will be also delta theta, because this r is perpendicular to this tangent, this r is perpendicular to this tangent. अगर मैं बॉडी को ए से बी तक लेके जाऊं तो ये जो आर है ये आर डेल्टा थीटा एंगल डिस्क्राइब किया, तो ये वी ये जो परपेंडिकुलर है ये परपेंडिकुलर भी तो डेल्टा थीटा एंगल डिस्क्राइब कर लेगा, तो दैट इज व्हाई इफ दिस एंगल इज डेल्टा थीटा दिस एंगल विल आल्सो बी डेल्टा थीटा. नाउ let us consider a body moving in a circular path in a circular path, and suppose let r is the radius of the circle, O is the center of the circle, we have taken. Now V1 delta theta we have to take first. Delta theta is the angle described by the body moving from A to B. Now V1 is the velocity of the body at A, V2 is the velocity of the body at B. Now if this angle is delta theta, this angle is delta theta, fine, and the body is moving along this circular path with the uniform speed, it means the magnitude of V1 is equal to magnitude of V2. So we can write here due to the uniform motion, magnitude of V1 vector is equal to magnitude of V2 vector. Suppose I am taking that is V, let. Now we are taking this triangle, suppose AOB triangle. In triangle AOB, what you can write? The length of the arc is AB, so AB is equal to, we can write radius into theta, so here r into delta theta we can write, so finally delta theta will be AB upon r, and this AB is equal to, suppose, delta x I am taking. in case of this AB, the length of the arc, here I am taking very small length of the arc, very small length it has covered, suppose, and that distance or that length of this arc is equal to, suppose, delta x. So in case of AB, we can write here delta x upon r is there, r. It is, suppose, equation 1 we have taken. Now, when we'll consider the velocity and we want to draw the different triangle here, then what will happen? V1 or V2? V1 and V2, if we'll consider V1 and V2 and we want to draw the another triangle, because this angle is again delta theta. So here, by considering the velocity, we can draw triangle given below. तो ये ट्रायंगल क्या बन जाएगा? देखो, V1 का डायरेक्शन ऊपर की तरफ है, तो मैं V1 का डायरेक्शन ये कर दिया, ये दिस वन इज V1 सपोज, एंड V2 इधर है, तो मैं डेल्टा थीटा एंगल करके V2 इधर ले गया. This one is V2 and this angle it is delta theta. So what will be the change in velocity here, and the direction of the change in velocity will be from initial position towards the final position. So this will be the direction of change in velocity delta V. So in this triangle, first we have to take the name of this triangle. Suppose this point is Q, this point is P, this point is R. So in this triangle, in triangle PQR, what we can write? Again, this will behave like the length of arc, this is angle and this is radius. But V1 and V2 both are equal in magnitude because this body is moving in the uniform speed. That is why this V1 and V2 we can write, that is V, and this is the angle. So length of the arc we can write here delta V is equal to R. In case of R, we can write here V into delta theta. So delta theta, again we are writing here delta V upon V, we can write delta V upon V. This is equation 2. And from equation 1 and 2, what we can write? From equation 1 and 2, what we can write? We can write here this, in equation 1 we are getting delta theta is equal to delta x upon delta r, and in equation 2 we are getting delta theta is equal to delta V upon V. Now by comparing these two equations from equation 1 and 2, what we can write? Delta x upon r is equal to, we can write delta V upon V. And suppose one thing we do here, in the denominator I am multiplying delta t in the numerator, in the left hand side, and in the right hand side also in the denominator I am multiplying delta t. So what we can get here? So this implies that delta x divided by delta t into r is equal to delta V upon delta t into V, we can write. In the both sides I have multiplied delta t in the denominator. It means the value is unchanged now. So we can take this, or this step we can write according to this one also. According to this we can write that one also. So finally delta x upon delta t, we know this is the velocity V upon r. Why I am writing velocity here? Because we know that delta x upon delta t, this delta theta is very small, and when we want to remove delta we have to take the derivative. In case of the concept, we know that limit delta t tends to 0, delta x upon delta t, that is equivalent to delta dx upon dt, and the dx upon dt is called the velocity. So we are writing, in case of delta x upon delta t, I am writing V upon r is there, upon r I have written, and this is equal to, in case of delta V upon delta t, limit delta t tends to 0, delta V upon delta t, we can write dV upon dt, and this rate of change in velocity is called acceleration. So we can write here A and V is there, upon V I am writing. So acceleration we are getting V square upon r. This is equation 3 suppose, and this the acceleration we are getting. Now we know that this acceleration is a vector quantity. If this acceleration is a vector quantity, it is the magnitude we got. But when we consider the, or when we want to determine the then what will happen? Here, see, and this angle is delta theta. This delta V is perpendicular to V1. Yes, is this delta V is perpendicular to V1. Why? Because if delta theta will be very small, then this both angle will be 90 degree. So if this angle is 90 degree, then we can say here the delta V is directed perpendicular to V1. When we come to this diagram, this is the direction for V1, and R is perpendicular to V1. So it means this is the direction of delta V. And if this is the direction of delta V, then we know that the direction of change in velocity gives the direction of acceleration. That is why if the direction of delta V is towards this, then the acceleration will be also directed towards this. Here, this delta V is towards this, so this is why the acceleration is also directed towards the center. And the acceleration directed towards the center is called centripetal acceleration. So we can name this centripetal acceleration. So here we can write this acceleration is directed towards the center of the circle. So this is, or this acceleration is called centripetal acceleration. That is why we can write here centripetal acceleration is equal to v square upon r we are getting. This is equation, this is the same equation as equation 3. Now, if centripetal acceleration we are getting, now we want to find the force. We know that according to Newton's second law, this force is equal to mass into acceleration. And again we know from Newton's second law, the direction of acceleration will be equivalent to, or in the same, the direction of the acceleration and the direction of the force are along the same direction, because in which direction the force will be applied, along the same direction the acceleration will be produced. That is why this force is equal to mass into acceleration we are writing. So here centripetal force will be mass into centripetal acceleration. So centripetal force is equal to, we can write mass into, in case of the centripetal acceleration we can put v square upon r. So this one v square upon r. In this way we can get centripetal force is equal to, we are getting mv square upon r. In this case this m indicates the mass of the body which is moving in the circular path. This v is the velocity of the body with which the body is moving in the circular path, and r is the radius of the circle along which the body is moving. So in this way we can get centripetal force is equal to mv square upon r, and this centripetal force is directed towards the center. That is why we have given the name like this. So there are two characteristics of the centripetal force. First one, the centripetal force is a normal force. Centripetal force is a normal force acted on the body towards the center, acted on the body moving along the circular path. And first characteristic of centripetal force is the normal force. It means perpendicular force acted on the body moving along a circular path. And second characteristic is always the centripetal force is directed towards the center. In this way we can study about the centripetal acceleration, and by knowing the centripetal acceleration we can find the centripetal force, and this centripetal force is equal to mv square upon r. Thank you.